Welcome back to Olin Zach Field, everybody. Darren Swenson with you as we get you set for Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Decorah Vikings are now 19-7 after a 5-inning, 10-0 victory over Waterloo East in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Game 2 is about ready to begin, and this is the way the Trojans will go to the plate. John Magnuson is the pitcher. Dakota Scribner is the catcher. Zach Lindquist is the shortstop. Zach Howard is at third base. Devin Marin is in right field. Alex Schutte is at first base. Jake Kennet's in center field. Riley Hanks at second base. And Landon Clemenson in right field. So Jake Qualley will get the start here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Qualley coming off arguably one of his better outings of his high school career. He threw all 9 on Friday night in a 3-2 9-inning victory over Waterloo East. As the first pitch of the game is taken for a strike, it's 0-1 as we get Game 2 going at 7:17. Magnuson was 1 for 2 in game number 1, flew out to left and doubled. His pitch taken low. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Curveball swung on and missed. It is 1-2. Magnuson, Scribner, and Lindquist here in the first inning. We'll set the Decorah defense here momentarily as the pitch looped towards second base, fielded on a hop by Brady Delius, picks it up and throws on to first base. And Magnuson retired 4-3, 1 down here in the first inning. Jake Hovden's in left, Gavin Nimrod's in center, and James Osley in right, Josie Jewell at third, Colin Nimrod at short, Brady Dolly at second, and Bryce Pierce at first, with Kyle Kane back behind the plate. And Jake Qualley on the hill. 1 down, nobody on. No score here in Game 2. Vikes took Game 1 in 5, 10-0. Dakota Scribner will bat, and he'll look at a curveball for a strike, 0-1. He was 0 for 2 in game number 1. Bob Wellendorf calling the balls and strikes, and Jack Lynch working the base pass. 0-1, fastball taken low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Qualley ready in the 1-1. Curveball swung on and missed. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes from Jake Qualley. Vikes will have Clayton Ridge tomorrow night, and then they'll be off till Friday when they play Charles City, site to be determined. Outside corner taken for strike 3. Scribner down on strikes. There's 2 down here in the first inning. So 2 down, nobody on, and Zach Lindquist will bat. No score here in the first inning. Lindquist in game number 1 was 0 for 2. The pitch swung on and missed. It's 0-1. And even though there are some positions that have changed a little bit, the order, the exact same for Waterloo East in this game. As the pitch outside on the fastball, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count. 1-1. Curveball, nice one, taken for strike 2. And it is 1 ball, 2 strikes now as Qualley kind of picking up where he left off on Friday night. The 1-2 delivery, swinging a foul, right side out of play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Qualley just getting that new baseball and getting that sign and going to work. The 1-2 delivery is taken low. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Defenders like playing for a guy like that because you're always going to be mentally in the game. You're always going to be on your toes. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down here in the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Waterloo East, nothing. Decorah coming to bat, and the Vikings will bat this way. Leading off will be the shortstop, Colin Nimrod. Batting second, the pitcher, Jake Qualley. Hitting third, the DH, Dustin Carey. Carey will bat for the left fielder, Jake Hovden. Hitting fourth, the third baseman, Josie Jewell. Hitting fifth in right field, James Osley. Hitting sixth, the catcher, Kyle Kane. Hitting seventh at second base is Brady Dolly. Hitting eighth at first base is Bryce Pierce. And batting ninth in center field is Gavin Nimrod. And that lineup will face John Magnuson, who, talking to a few people before the game, probably would be labeled as the number one pitcher for Waterloo East. Talking to umpire Jack Lynch, he said this kid's pretty sharp, pretty on command. He's the head coach of the son of the head coach, also who goes by John Magnuson. Landon Clemenson will play left, Jake Kennitz in center, and Devin Marin in right. Zach Howard at third, Zach Lindquist at short. Riley Hanks at second, Alex Schutte at first. And Dakota Scribner behind the plate. With Magnuson on the hill. It'll be Nimrod, Qualley, and Carey here in the bottom of the first inning.
Leading off the bottom of the first for the Vikings is shortstop, number 10, Colin Nimrod.
Colin in game one was 2 for 3. He also walked, scored 3 runs, and stole 2 bases. Vikes won that one 10-0. And they're looking for the doubleheader sweep and win number 20 on the season. Fastball swung on, smacked into left on a base hit. So Colin Nimrod was ready for that first ball fastball. And
number 5, pitcher Jacob Qualley.
And Jake Qualley will bat now. Qualley with the stick in game number 1 was 2 for 4. He also scored a run, having reached on an error. Couple of steps off the bag at first base as Nimrod held on there by Schutte. And a quick move over to first base will send Colin back to the bag diving, even though it was a soft toss. Might as well dirty the uniform if it's not been dirtied enough tonight. 2.5 stride lead at first base by Colin Nimrod, and a quick move over there once again will send Colin back diving to the bag. Qualley from the right-hand side of the plate. He squares to bunt, pushes it right in front of the plate. It's picked up there by the pitcher, Magnuson, who gives Schutte an underhand toss. And the sacrifice complete, 1-3. So Colin moves up to second, and Dustin Carey with an RBI opportunity with a runner at first or runner at second. And 1 down. Carey was 1 for 2 officially, had a sacrifice fly. Was hit by a pitch, scored 2 runs, and knocked into in game number 1. No score here in game number 2. Vikes took game number 1 by a 10-0 margin. Magnuson comes set, and the pitch swung on, popped up, foul, right side. Schutte going to take a peek, but it lands on the roadway heading up to the football stadium. The ball's in 1 strike as Mike Smock retrieves that ball. It's an official game because Mike Smock's here. No balls, 1 strike to count. Nimrod off the bag at second. Coming set is Magnuson. A look back at second in the 0-1. Outside corner taken for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Dustin Carey. Carey looking for his 3rd RBI of the night. Stretch. And the 0-2 delivery. Ooh, just missed the outside corner. Tried the fastball. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dustin Carey. Striding off a second is Colin Nimrod. Magnuson in for the side from his catcher, Dakota Scribner. And the pitch, curveball taken low. Scribner behind the plate playing his 4th position of this doubleheader. He was the starting pitcher in game number 1, moved to second, moved to right field, now starting at catcher. Hashtag versatility. One ball, 2 strikes the count. And the 1-2 delivery swung on a drive right center field. After it is McCarron. He looks up and it's against the fence. Colin Nimrod being waved to the plate. Relay throw is not in time. An RBI double for Dustin Carey and a 1-0 lead for Decorah. Carey hit a ball that just kept driving out to right field. I didn't know if Marin was going to get there. He ended up not doing so. Dustin now has 3 RBIs on the night. And a 1-0 lead for Decorah as Josie Jewell will bat. Pitch in there for a strike at the letters. It snowballs 1 strike. Josie 0 for 1, had a sacrifice fly and a walk in game number 1. Whirling a throw to second base, back to the bag, diving goes Carey. The ball's 1 strike to count on Josie. Stretch and the pitch swung on a ground ball towards third. It's knocked down there by Howard. He's going to throw across the diamond. He got Josie by a step. And actually, now they're going to say Josie's safe as Mike Tungan asked Jack Lynch for some help. Asked Jack Lynch to ask for some help. Unlike Friday night, Jack actually asked for help, and Bob Willendorf reverses the call. Carey stays at second base on the play. Josie reaches on the E5. First and second with 1 down, 1 in. Vikes now looking for a big inning. They're up 1-0. And James Osley will come to the plate. Osley, 1 for 1, 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Ground ball to Howard at third, throws to second base. Not in time. The ball got away from the second baseman Hanks, but staying at third is Carey. So back-to-back errors by Howard will give the Vikings the bases loaded and 1 down. And now Kyle Kane will come to the plate. Infield and battery will meet on the hill. It looks like Magnuson doing most of the talking out there. So there's been 2 hits and 2 errors in this frame. And Kyle Kane will try to make Waterloo East pay. The catcher, Scribner, back behind the plate. And the pep talk between Magnuson and his infielders are continuing. The runner at third is Dustin Carey. The runner at second is Josie Jewell. And the runner at first is James Osley. One nothing Decorah. Kyle Kane looking to add on to the total. Infield back up the middle and up at the corners. First pitch high to Kyle. 1 ball, no strikes. Kyle was 1 for 2, had a 2-run double and a sacrifice in game number 1. Magnuson comes set, and the 1-0 delivery is taken low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Stretch and the 2-0. There's a strike at the knees on the fastball. It's 2 balls, 1 strike now. Away from third, Carey. Away from second, Josie. Away from first is James. The 2-1 delivery. Inside corner for a strike. It's 2-2. So now it's 2-2 on Kane. Magnuson in for the sign. Now he steps off the rubber. Kyle steps out of the batter's box. Magnuson back to the rubber. Kyle back into the right-hand side of the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch swung on a ground ball towards short. Lindquist will go underhand to second for the first out, and that's the only out they will get. Kyle Kane gets an RBI on the fielder's choice, 6-4. As Carey scores and Josie moves to third, it's a 2-0 lead for Decorah. And Cole Sweska will get Kane's courtesy at first base. And Brady Dolly, who took advantage of his first varsity start with a 2-for-4 night on Friday night with an RBI, will come to the plate. Sweska at first, Jewell at third. Magnuson working out of the stretch. Dolly in from the right-hand side of the plate. Sweska takes off, and he'll steal second uncontested as Dolly looks at a strike, 0-1. So now Brady has 2 runners in scoring position. He got the game-tying hit in that game Friday night down at Waverly. No balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. That one dropped low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. If I sound disappointed, it's because I didn't get my Whippy Dip order in, apparently. 1-1. Taken right down the middle for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 1-2 the count on Dolly. 2-0 Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. Vikes have put it in play 4 times, 2 errors and 2 hits. The 1-2 delivery, swinging a foul back. Curveball that hung a little bit, and Brady fouled it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count remains. Stretch, and the 1-2. Just missed the outside edge, so now the deuce is wild on the Decorah second sacker. Two balls, 2 strikes from number 2 with 2 down. The pitch outside corner taken for strike 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 2 left. We head to the the top of the second inning. It's a 2-0 lead for Decorah. Top of the second inning we go. Just heard from the good folks at the A&J Petersburg Agency Insurance and Real Estate since 1932. They're the proud sponsors of the Insurance Runs promotion. Every time the Viking baseball or softball team leads in the 6th inning or beyond this year and scores another run, it's an A&J Petersburg Insurance Run. This curve taken for a strike by Zach Howard. Every time that happens, the great folks at the Decorah Viking Athletic Booster Club gets $20 from A&J. 0-1 delivery, swinging a pop-up foul. Right side, Pearson Kane over, but it'll land out of play. Snowballs and 2 strikes. Howard in game number 1 was hit by a pitch and lined out to third. He had a base hit taken away from him on probably one of the best defensive plays of that first game by Josie Jewell at third. No balls, 2 strikes, the count in the pitch. Just missing outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, swinging a foul towards third as Coach Magnuson able to make the play in the third base box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, Qualley ready, and the pitch swung on, popped up right side. At second base is Brady Daly. Gets called off by the shortstop, Colin Nimrod, who makes the catch basically in a second base position on the lip between the infield grass and the infield third. So a P6 in the scorebook, 1 down here in the second inning. One down, nobody on. 2-0 Decorah here in the second. Devin Marin to the plate, swings at the first one and fouls it off. No balls, 1 strike. Marin struck out and walked in game number 1. Vikes took that one 10-0. In 5 innings, they'll try to take game 2 and win game number 20 of the season as pitch taken high. It is 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 1-1, inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. Alex Schutte in the on-deck circle for Waterloo East. As the pitch taken up, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 3 strikeouts for Jake Qualley. Qualley didn't have a ton of strikeouts the other night, but he has struck out 3 of the first 5 he has faced tonight as Alex Schutte will come to the plate. 2-0 Decorah here in the second. Schutte in game 1 had a double and struck out. Qualley ready in the first offering to him. Pitch taken low, 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch swung on and a ground ball towards the left side. A backhand stop made by Colin Nimrod. That's all he'll be able to do. That ball was pretty deep into the hole at short. Schutte not exactly the most fleet of foot. He was most of the way down the line towards first base before Colin even got to that ball. So that's the first hit for Waterloo East. And Jake Kinnetz will bat with a runner at first and 2 down and a 2-0 lead for Decorah. The pitch, a strike, 0-1. Kinnetz was 0 for 2 in game number 1 of this doubleheader. Stretch and the 0-1. Breaking ball inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 the count. Pitch. Curveball in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. One and 2 the count. Qualley comes set. And the pitch. Fastball up. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Vikes trying to get to that 20-win plateau. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, popped up right side. Brady Daly coming in from his second base position will make the catch. And that's the 3rd out here in the top of the second. 1 hit, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's 2-0 lead for Decorah. Bottom of the second inning we go. It's a 2-0 lead for Decorah. Coming up the next 2 nights, we'll have Vikings softball on the air, as Decorah will take on New Hampton, their final conference doubleheader. Tomorrow night, we'll have both those games on the air beginning at 5:50 tomorrow night. And then regular season finale for the girls coming up on Wednesday night. A rain-out makeup down at South Wind. That'll be a 7:20 start for that time. One on Thursday night, or on Wednesday night, rather. As Bryce Pierce will bat to start things here in the second. And he'll look at a strike, 0-1. Pierce played but did not bat in game number 1, getting a chance to swing it here in game number 2. Magnuson ready, 0-1 offering, swung on and missed. Missed on the breaking ball. It's no balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes actually. Pitch taken low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peter Lillibridge trying to confuse me, and he did. I think you owe me one of those nice Decorah trout hats for that there, partner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-0 Decorah here in the second. The 1-2 delivery from Magnuson just missed the outside edge, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pierce will be followed by Gavin Nimrod and Colin Nimrod here in the second inning. 2-2 delivery. Fastball taken low. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mike's got game 1, 10-0. Non-conference game tomorrow night with Clayton Ridge, JV Varsity, 5:30, 7:30. The pitch swung on, a ground ball towards short. Lindquist picks it up, winds up, and throws to first base to retire Pierce. 1 down here in the second inning. 1 down, nobody on. Gavin Nimrod to the plate, 2-0 Decorah. Gavin was 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored in game number 1.
Stepping up to the plate, number 7, center fielder Gavin Nimrod.
His double started a 5-run 4th inning. Vikes got another run in the 5th inning to close it out in game number 1. Magnuson throwing low. 1 ball, no strikes. As we talked about earlier, Jack Lynch, who's working the base pass in this game, talked to me before the game. The 1-0 taken outside, 2 balls, no strikes. He's had Waterloo East a few times this year, and he said Magnuson is their top kid, coach's kid. 2-0 delivery, swung on, looped towards right field. That one will land for a base hit. So Nimrod with his second hit of the doubleheader, and the Vikes have their 3rd hit. A runner at first and 1 down for Colin Nimrod.
Number 10,
Colin singled and scored in that first inning. He has scored 4 of the 12 runs for Decorah tonight. Quick move to first base, and Nimrod back to the bag standing. That's Gavin at first base. Stretch and the pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Lights have just been turned on here at Olensack Field, probably about an hour before sundown, so about a half an hour, 45 minutes, they'll start taking effect on which just is an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball. The pitch outs, or instead of move to first base, and back to the bag standing is Nimrod. The ball's 1 strike count on Colin. Gavin a lead at first base. The stretch by Magnuson and a quick toss over to first base. Back to the bag diving is Gavin. Another move to first base, and back to the bag standing is Gavin. Magnuson obviously follows high school track and knows Gavin can move a little bit. Pitch taken high. It is 1 ball, 1 strike on Colin. One. Another move to first base, and Gavin back to the bag diving. Even with the bag at third as Howard Schutte holds the runner on over at first. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 down. The stretch and the 1-1. Outside corner taken for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stretch, another move to first base, Gavin back to the bag diving. Christie might be washing that uniform twice if this keeps up. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. Here's the pitch, runner goes, pitch taken outside, throw down to second base, a good one, and Gavin Nimrod caught stealing with Riley Hanks on the receiving end. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Collin. Gavin caught stealing 2-4. And the deuce is wild now on the Decorah leadoff hitter. So all those throws over to first base had a cumulative effect that was positive for the Trojans. 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So 1 hit and nobody left. We head to the 3rd inning. It's 2-0 lead for Decorah. 3rd inning we go. It's 2-0 lead for Decorah. Trying to sweep a doubleheader against Waterloo East tonight. They won 10-0 in 5 in game number 1. 2 RBIs in that game for Dustin Carey. 2 RBIs for Kyle Kane. Kyle Kane threw a 2-hitter over 5, walked only 1, and struck out 6 as he got the victory on the bump in game number 1. 3rd inning we go. It's a lead of 2-0 for Decorah. As the first ball swinging is Riley Hanks, grounds one towards short, and Colin Nimrod. He fires across the diamond to Bryce Pierce. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 3rd. 1 down, nobody on. Landon Clemenson to the plate for Waterloo East.
Up next, left fielder, 19.
Clemenson struck out twice against Kyle Kane in game number 1. 2-0 Decorah here in game number 2 as a curveball is taken for a strike. One of the better deuces of the night from Qualley right there. Jake kind of just picking up where he left off on Friday night. The pitch blown outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's not like he was bad at all, but about inning 4 or 5 on, all the way through inning number 9 the other night, Jake was just outstanding. The pitch swung on and missed. Has Clemenson out in front of a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. 1-2 the count. The pitch, swing and a pop-up foul, right side out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count remains. Qualley kicks and deals, and the pitch, a curveball. Clemenson swinging and missing. And Qualley has struck out 4 of the first 9 he has faced. So 2 down, nobody on, and John Magnuson will start the second time around the batting order for Waterloo East. He grounded to second his first time up in the first, as the first pitch taken low from Qualley. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0 Decorah. RBI double by Carey. And a fielding error scored the 2 runs in that first inning as that one fouled third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Two, 3-0 for Decorah. 0-1-2 thus far for Waterloo East. The 1-1 delivery. Check swing, and he took it on the outside edge. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Qualley ready, the 2-1 offering. Swung on and a ground ball towards short. Picked up there by Colin Nimrod. Winds up, throws to first base, and they got him by a step. So for the second time in 3 frames, the Trojans go down in order. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's a 2-0 lead for Decorah. Welcome back to Decorah. It looks like the Trojans have made a replacement out in right field. I believe John Snook is now in right field for Waterloo East. And Jake Qualley will start things here in the bottom of the 3rd for Decorah. He sacrificed a runner-up back in the first. 2-0 Decorah leads it. We play the bottom of the 3rd inning. Likes won game 1 of the doubleheader by a 10-0 margin. Qualley, Carey, and Jewell in the 3rd to face John Magnuson, who's given up 2 Runs, 1 earned, 2 hits, or correction, 3 hits. First pitch out of the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. Hasn't walked anybody and has struck out 1 to this point. So he's been better than his counterparts, who were a little wild in game 1. Here's a fly ball left field. Clemenson is after it. He'll have to play it on a hop, and it caroms by him. Qualley will make a big turn at first base, but stay put right there. Qualley gets a single to left, and getting his courtesy at first base will be Brighton Meyer.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 14, Brighton Meyer.
And Dustin Carey will bat. He doubled to right, scored himself, and knocked in a run in the first inning. 1-for-1. There was some other Decorah High School sports news today. About 4 track runners that were recognized for their work in the classroom. We'll tell you about that as time goes by here. As Magnuson comes set, pitch to Carey, just missed the outside edge, 1 ball, no strikes. Shelby Varney, Shayna Kelly, Patrick Larson, Jake Drost, all named Academic All-State in track. Those qualifications probably one of the tough as the pitch goes, instead of move to first base and Meyer back to the bag diving. Qualifications, a 3.8 GPA, a 28 ACT, and a state track qualifier in at least one event, and you have to be a senior. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Carey. Quick move to first base and back to the bag diving is Brighton Meyer. Probably the more impressive thing about those 4, Varney, Kelly, and Larson were all academic all-state in cross-country, and Jake Drost was academic all-state in basketball as well. Moved to first base, and back to the bag diving is Meyer. So Magnuson being the human rain delay right now. When runners are on base, he pays a lot of attention to them. It did work, as Gavin Nimrod was caught stealing as the pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike now on Dustin Carey. 2-0 Decorah. We play the bottom of the 3rd. Magnuson, what do you know? Another move to first base, and back to the bag diving is Meyer. Stretch. And Magnuson will come to the plate, and Carey bunts right in front of the plate. Magnuson will glove, look at second briefly, but throw to first, and the sacrifice is good. 1-3. So Carey does his job with Meyer moving up to second. He will be in scoring position with Josie Jewell coming to the plate. 2-0 Decorah, bottom of the 3rd. Jewell reached on an error in the first inning. Hanks paying a lot of attention to Meyer. Big gap on the right side of the infield as fastball up from Magnuson. 1 ball, no strikes. Stretch. And the 1-0. Swung out and missed. Big cut, no contact from Josie, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Away from second is Brighton. Magnuson comes set, takes a look back there, takes a second look back there, and a third, and the 1-1 outside and low and all the way back to the screen past Scribner. So moving to third will be Meyer. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike now on Josie Jewell. With run number 3, 90 feet down the line at third. This is Vikings Radio, 1240 KDEC and KDECradio.net. 2-0 lead for Decorah as we play the bottom of the 3rd inning. In Game 2 of this doubleheader, Vikings won Game 1 by a 10-0 margin in 5 innings. Infield back up, kind of halfway rather, up the middle and up at the corners. 2-1 the pitch, swinging a foul, right side and out of play, off the bat of Josie. And it's 2-2. Two and two with one down. And Josie steps out of the box. Stretch, a look around the base pass and the 2-2 delivery. Swinging a foul, right side out of play. So we'll do it again at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Yet on Josie Jewell. Short lead at third by Breitenmeyer. Magnuson working out of the stretch and a move to third. And Meyer back to the bag diving. Two and two with one down. Sixth pitch of the at-bat to Josie. Magnuson brings it to the plate, and it's hammered deep to left field. Clemens looks up, and that one is gone. He hung a curveball on 2-2, and Josie made him pay for it. A 2-run homer here in the bottom of the third inning, and a 4-0 lead now for Decorah. Josie fought off a pretty good curveball on the first 2-2 pitch, got one he could handle, and smacked one over the left field fence for his third home run of the season.
7 in the box, number 20 by Philly.
And James swings and hits one deep to center field, but the park's going to hold this one as Kennett makes the catch in medium to deep left center from his center field position. 2 down. So a 4-0 lead now for Decorah. And Kyle Kane will look to keep the inning going. He bounced into a fielder's choice in the first, 0 for 1. The pitch to Kyle goes high on the fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Stretch, and the pitch in there for a strike at the knees. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. So a pair of twos, 1 in the first, 1 in the third for Decorah. The pitch taken low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 with 2 down. Two-1 delivery. Curveball taken low again. It's 3 balls and 1 strike now. Three-1. Outside and low for ball 4. That's the first walk for Magnuson tonight, to go along with 1 strikeout.
Number 1, second baseman.
Cole Sweska will get Kane's courtesy at first base, and Brady Dolly will look to keep the inning going. Vikes with 5 hits, Waterloo East with 1. Here in game 2 of this doubleheader. A 4-0 lead for Decorah. Vikes won game 1 by a 10-0 margin in 5 innings. Pitch to Dolly, swung on, hit well, deep right center field. Kennett and Snook are back there. Snook, the right fielder, will make the catch to retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We head to the 4th. It is 4-0 Decorah. Top of the 4th inning we go. It's a 4-0 lead for Decorah. Josie Jewell putting the last 2 on the board on a 2-run homer to left in the bottom half of the 3rd. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 due for Waterloo East. Jake Qualley's been solid to this point, and the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Dakota Scribner is the first batter here in the fourth inning. He struck out looking in the first, 0 for 1. 0-1 delivery. Curveball taken low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Curveball swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jake ready in the 1-2 offering. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Scribner down on strikes for the second time. That's the 5th strikeout already for Qualley.
Up next, shortstop, number 4, Zach Lindquist.
1 down, nobody on. And Zach Lindquist to the plate. Lindquist struck out swinging in the first, and he looks at the first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. As we mentioned, Jake just really has picked up where he's left off. Friday night against Waverly is the pitch outside. 1 ball or 2 balls, no strikes. Only the second time he's gone to a 2-ball count. The 2-0 delivery hits him right in the back. Got him right on the 4 on the back of the jersey. Tried to go high and tight with the fastball, but got away from him. A runner at first and 1 down, and Zach Howard will come to the plate. As a momentary time is called, as home plate umpire Bob Willendorf will come over and pick up the ball that was sitting along the fence here on the third base side after it hit Lindquist in the back. Howard popped out to short in the second, 0 for 1. 4-0 Decorah as we play the 4th. Curveball taken for a strike. Throw down to second base is 1 hopped in there and not in time. So Lindquist will steal second. Snowballs and 1 strike to count on Howard. So for the first time in game number 2, Waterloo East has a runner in scoring position. 0-1 delivery, smack towards short, and it gobbles up Nimrod and goes into left field for a base hit. So first and third with 1 down here in the 4th inning. It was an in-between hop on Callan, and he was in between going after it. Afraid if he did it too aggressively, he would have overran the ball, and it ends up taking a bad hop on him and out in the left field. And Devin Marin will come to the plate. Struck out swinging in the second, 0 for 1. 4-0 Decorah, so we play the top of the 4th inning. And the pitch swung on, popped up left side foul territory. Josie coming over towards the dugout, and it will land out of play. No balls, 1 strike to count. Lindquist away from third, and Howard away from first, and an 0-1 count now on. This is actually, this is not Devin Marin, this is actually John Snook, who came in defensively in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Infield up at the corners, pitch taking a strike, throw down to second base is in time as the runner from third will go home. It's a 4-1 ball game now. Howard caught stealing with Dolly taking the throw, and that's the second out of the inning. And it's no balls, 2 strikes on John Snook now. But Lindquist ends up stealing on the backside of that play. And Waterloo East is on the board for the first time tonight as the pitch taken low. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two with 2 down. The pitch, curveball, just missed the outside edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Two. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Qualley gets his 6th strikeout of the night, but East finally on the board. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left halfway home. In game 2 of this doubleheader, it's a 4-1 lead for Decorah. Bottom of the 4th inning we go. It's 4-1 lead for Decorah. 2 in the first, 2 in the third for Decorah. A solo tally in the top of the 4th inning for Waterloo East. It was their first run that they have scored all night. Vikings won game 1 of the doubleheader 10-0 in 5 innings. Vikes got an RBI double from Dustin Carey in the first inning. Another run scored on an error. Josie Jewell, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Bryce Pierce grounded to short his first time up, and he fouls one back to the screen here against Magnuson. No balls, 1 strike. Magnuson through 3 has given up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He's walked 1 and he's struck out 2. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch swung on, a looper out into shallow left, still on the infield dirt. Actually, Lindquist, the shortstop, will make the catch. And there's 1 down here in the 4th inning. So 1 down, nobody on, and Gavin Nimrod to the plate. He singled to right his first time up. 4-1 Decorah. Bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch taken on the outside edge for a strike. It's 0-1 on Nimrod. 0-1 swung on, smacked up the middle, and a base hit. Magnuson got sent spinning on that one as Gavin sent it back where it came from. A 1-out single here in the 4th inning, and Colin Nimrod will try to add on to the fun. Colin Nimrod singled and scored in the 1st inning and struck out swinging in the 4th. Magnuson delivers, and the pitch, fastball for a strike, 0-1. Short lead at first base by Gavin, and a move to first base from Magnuson. And Magnuson sends him back to the bag. He threw over there multiple times in Gavin's first at-bat, and Gavin ended up getting caught stealing as the pitch outside is 1 ball, 1 strike on Colin Nimrod. 1-1 with 1 down. 4-1 the lead for Decorah as we play the bottom half of the 4th inning. Stretch and the 1-1 delivery taken up is 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Short lead at first base by Gavin. Schutte holds him on over there. Magnuson comes set, and the pitch is low and in the dirt and got away from the catcher, Scribner. It was away to his right. He looked to his left. Now he finds it, and Nimrod will take second base. On the wild pitch. 3-1 on Cowan with Gavin at second base. And 1 down here in the 4th inning. Vikes looking to add on to a 4-1 lead. Three and 1 with 1 down. The pitch swung on, popped up right side. Schutte in foul ground. He will make the catch. Nimrod tags but doesn't go. 2 down here in the 4th inning. So 2 down and a runner at second. And Jacob Qualley to the plate, trying to help his own cause. He sacrificed a runner up in the 1st, singled and scored in the 3rd inning. A 4-1 lead for Decorah as we play at the bottom of the 4th. Decorah took game 1 of the doubleheader by a 10-0 margin. Pitch, swinging a foul back to the first base side and out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Qualley's given up the 1 run through 4 on the hill. He scored 1 himself with the stick. 0-1 with 2 down. Magnuson comes set. A look back at second, and the 0-1 delivery. Pitch taken outside. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Magnuson looks in at Scribner for the sign. Comes set, looks back at second, now steps off the rubber. One ball, 1 strike to count with 2 down. 2 looks at second by Magnuson, and the pitch swung on, smacked into center field. After it is Kinnitz. He will make the catch in medium to depth right center field, and that's the 3rd out here in the 4th inning. 1 hit, 1 left. We head to the top half of the 5th inning. It's 4-1 lead for Decorah. Top of the 5th inning we go. It's a 4-1 lead for Decorah. 2 in the first, 2 in the 3rd. Josie Jewell, a 2-run homer. Dustin Carey, an RBI double. And another run scored on an error for Decorah. Schutte started with a strike by Qualley. No balls, 1 strike. That was the 60th pitch from Qualley. Here's one off the end of the bat to the right side. Picked up by Dolly, but he bobbles it, and everyone's going to be safe. The ball was going to be a difficult one to handle because he hit it kind of equidistant between Pierce, Dolly, and Qualley. But if Dolly picks it up cleanly, it's a out. So that's the first error of the night for Decorah. E4, 1 on, nobody out here in the 5th inning. The pitch swung on, popped up left side. Kinnitz, who popped out to second his first time up, will hit one into shallow left. It's caught there by Colin Nimrod, the shortstop. 1 down here in inning number 5. 1 down, 1 on, and Riley Hanks to the plate. A 4-1 lead for Decorah here in the top of the 5th inning. Hanks grounded to short in the 3rd, 0 for 1. First pitch to Hanks inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Only 2 hits given up by Jake Qualley. Only gave up 5 the other night, swinging a foul at the plate. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. It's kind of more of an excuse me swing than anything, but ends up being a 1-1 count on Riley Hanks. 1-1 delivery. Another excuse me swing and another foul ball. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Pitch outside. Tried the breaking ball and missed. It is 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 1 on, 1 out here in the 5th inning. Curveball swung on, popped up, foul territory left side. Josie Jewell from his 3rd base position will make the catch. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Two down, runner at first. And Landon Clemenson to the plate. Clemenson has been up 3 times tonight and has struck out all 3, including his only plate appearance here in the 3rd. A curveball, another excuse me swing, and a foul ball. No balls and 1 strike, and now Coach Magnuson will take an offensive timeout. No balls, 1 strike to count. Kane and Qualley take advantage of the opportunity to have a conversation of their own at the bottom of the hill. Colin Nimrod and Josie Jewell did the same on the left side of the infield. The ball's 1 strike. Qualley kicks and deals in the 0-1. Taken low. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first and 2 down. Qualley comes set, and the 1-1 delivery. That one taken up. It is 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Two and 1 with 2 down, and the pitch. There's a fastball outside edge taken for strike 2. It is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stretch, and the pitch swung on, a blooper into right field, and fielding it in shallow right was Brady Dolly. He's able to knock it down, but that's all he would have been able to do. So Clementson doing a good job going the other way on a breaking ball and getting a bloop single. After striking out the first 3 times, he's been up. This is the second straight inning that Waterloo East has gotten 2 runners on, and now the top of the order in John Magnuson. He hits ground ball towards first base, picked up there by Bryce Pierce. He'll run to the bag to retire the side. 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 lead for Decorah. Bottom of the 5th we go. It's a 4-1 lead for Decorah, as Dustin Carey will lead things off. Carey double to right, knocked in a run, scored himself in the first, and sacrificed a runner up in the 3rd, and he smacks a single in the left to start things here in the 5th inning. On the first offering from Magnuson.
Brings to the plate, number 6, third baseman Josie Jewell. Running at first is number 3, Jake Houghton.
Runner at first will be Jake Hovden. Hovden was getting hit for by Carey, so Hovden will enter into the lineup in that spot. Josie reached on an error in the first inning and hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Hovden. Josie comes set and he pushes a bunt up the first base side and angles into foul territory, and it's touched there by the catcher, Scribner. Snowballs and 1 strike. Oh-1 to Josie. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-1 Decorah. Josie responsible for the last 2 runs. With the home run back in the 3rd, Carey with the other RBI, a double back in the 1st. The other run scored on an error as the pitch goes outside. It is 2 balls and 1 strike. Vikes with 7 hits here in game number 2 after having 8 in game number 1. Short lead at first base by Hovden. The stretch and a move to first base, and Jake back to the bag diving. Two and 1, and Josie asked for time, and it's granted by the home plate umpire, Bob Wellendorf. Short lead at first base by Hovden. The 2-1 delivery is a fastball low outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to count on Josie. (3-1), swung on, popped up on the infield. Second baseman Riley Hanks is under it. He will make the catch for the first out here in the 5th inning.
Brings up number 20, right fielder James Osley.
1 down, runner at first, and James Osley to the plate. Reached on an error in the first, flew out to center in the third. Pitch, curveball in the dirt. Karams to the right of Scribner, and taking second base on the wild pitch will be Hovden. One ball, no strikes on Osley, who's officially 0 for 2, although he did reach in the first inning. He reached all 3 times. He was up in game 1. Here's ground ball towards third, picked up there by Zach Howard. He'll fire across the diamond, not hanging onto it at first is Schutte. So Hovden moves up to third on the play. And he was going once Howard let that throw go anyway. And Osley reaches on the second error of the night for Howard. And the third error of the night for the Trojans. First and third, 1 down, 4-1 the lead for Decorah.
Brings up number 4, catcher Kyle.
And Kyle Kane will bat. He bounced into a fielder's choice in the first and walked in the third. Stretch, pitch, swung on, popped up, straight back, and Scribner's going to take a peek, but it'll land out of play. Landing to our right in the picnic table area. The ball's 1 strike to count. Hovden off a third, Osley off a first. 4-1 Decorah here on the bottom of the 5th, looking for win number 20 on the season. Osley away from first. Hovden down the line from third. The 0-1 delivery. The pitch taken low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Kyle Kane. The Vikes threatening again. Stretch. And the 1-1. Just missed the outside edge. It's 2 balls, 1 strike now. Vikes out hitting Waterloo East 7-3. Magnuson ready in the pitch, outside corner for a strike. And it is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. Magnuson comes set. 2-2 delivery to Kyle. Swung on and missed. Got him on a breaking ball. That'll be the 3rd strikeout of the night for John Magnuson. First and third with 2 down, and Brady Dolly to the plate. Dolly 0 for 2 on the night, struck out looking in the first and flied out to right in the third. Pitch to Brady, low and outside, got away from the catcher Scribner, down the line from third comes Hovden, throw to the plate, not in time. Osley up to second base on the play, and it's a 5-1 lead now for Decorah. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Dolly. That's the first run scored on a wild pitch in this game after 3 runs scored on wild pitches for Decorah in game number 1. Magnuson ready. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position as a throwback to second base gets away from the second baseman Hanks, but not enough to warrant runner advancement. Osley back to the bag diving. One ball, no strikes to count. The 1-0 delivery, swinging a foul to the first base side of the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 5-7-1 now for Decorah. 1-3-3 for Waterloo East. Magnuson comes set, looks back at second, a second look at second, and the 1-1. Blown outside to number 1. Two balls, 1 strike. Dolly had a couple of hits in his first start Friday night down at Waverly. Trying to come up with 1 here and give his team a 6-1 lead. Outside corner taken for strike 2, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. Osley off a second. Magnuson comes set. And the 2-2 delivery is taken up for 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Some folks got to draw a picture for him. 3-2 with 2 down. Osley off a second. Magnuson with a long pause, and the 3-2 swung on, fouled away, right side and out of play. So we'll do it again at 3-2 as Dolly battles. Three and two with 2 down. Magnuson, a new baseball from the home plate umpire. He steps to the rubber. He comes set. He looks back at second. Takes the second look at second. And the 3-2 delivery taken at the knees outside corner for strike 3. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We head to the 6th. It is a 5-1 lead for Decorah.
1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on base.
6th inning we go. It's a 5-1 lead for Decorah. Jake Qualley working on a 3-hitter. Trying to win his 2nd consecutive start after winning Friday night in the 9-inning 3-2 victory. He'll face hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. As the pitch goes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Qualley's thrown 75 pitches. Scribner has struck out looking twice. He swings and fouls the next one away. Pierce going over towards the fence, but it lands just out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One and 1. The stretch and the pitch well outside. It is 2 balls, 1 strike now on Scribner. The only run for Waterloo East came in the 4th inning. Lindquist was hit by a pitch, stole second, and then bringing him home was Zach Howard as the pitch goes high. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch swung out and missed. Qualley took a little something off, and Scribner out in front. And now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. 5-1 Decorah here in the 6th. Pitch swung on, popped up, foul ball right side. Pierce appears to have room, and he will make the catch near the fence up the first base side, and there's 1 down here in the 6th inning. One down, nobody on. Zach Lindquist to the plate, struck out swinging in the first, hit by a pitch, and scored in the fourth. The lead is 5-1 for Decorah as we play the top of the sixth inning. And Zach Lindquist will come to the plate, struck out swinging in the first, hit by a pitch, and scored a run in the fourth inning. Pitch swung on and missed. No balls, one strike. Qualley has not walked anybody, and his strikeout total, I'm assuming, might be a season high with 6. Pitch low and in the dirt. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. As we talked about, just picking up where he left off on Friday night. 1-1. Outside corner taken for a strike, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. On Zach Lindquist, if you're looking insurance-wise, it's Pierce, Nimrod, and Nimrod in the 6th inning. His pitch swung on and fouled back. Right side and out of play. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. 1-2 delivery. Off-speed breaking ball swung on, fouled back to the screen. Qualley hung that one a little bit and got away with it. 1-2 with 1 down. The pitch swung on, popped up left side. Qualley coming over, and Josie Jewell in foul ground will make the catch just in front of the third base coach's box, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. Jake has only had 2 1-2-3 innings in the first 5, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. And Zach Howard will come to the plate. He got the RBI single back in the 4th inning. Here's a fly ball, shallow right. Dolly out, Osley in, and Dolly will make the catch from his second base position, and that's that for the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down. Vikes will look for some A&G money next as they lead at 5-1. Bottom of the 6th inning we go. Vikes eligible for some A&G Petersburg insurance runs. They lead it here in the 6th inning by a 5-1 margin. Eric Smorstad's going to get a turn at bat. Smorsy will bat for Pierce, who is 0 for 2 on the night.
Leading off,
5-1, Decorah leads it.
number 12, Eric Smorstad.
As Smorstad will pinch hit. Nimrod in the on-deck circle for Decorah. 5-1, Decorah leads it. They're out hitting East 7-3. East out erring Decorah 3-1 in this one. As Smorsy looks at a strike, 0-1. Vikes got 2 in the first inning. Carey doubled to right to score Nimrod, and then Carey scored on an error. His pitch inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Vikes got 2 more in the 3rd inning. On a Josie Jewell 2-run homer, and with 2 outs in the 5th inning, Dustin Carey scored on a wild pitch. Zach Lindquist scored for Waterloo East in the 4th inning on a single to left by Zach Howard. 1-1, curveball outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2 now on Smorstad. One and 2 the count. The pitch just missed the outside edge. It's 2-2. Vikes looking for win number 20 as that one grounded towards third. Zach Howard picks it up, has some trouble with it. He'll throw on to first base, and the throw goes by the first baseman, Schutte. Smorsy tripped over the bag, so he'll stay put at first base. E5 will allow Smorstad to reach. And Bryce Pierce will re-enter to run for him. Runner at first, nobody out. Gavin Nimrod to the plate.
First and stepping into the box, number 7, center fielder Gavin Nimrod.
5-1 Decorah. Nimrod 2 for 2. Single to right in the 2nd and single to center in the 4th. Gavin now 3 for 5 overall in this doubleheader. Magnuson ready, and the pitch inside. Gavin had to jump out of the way of that one as the pitch was actually behind him, or so it appeared. 1 ball, no strikes. Magnuson ready, 1-0. That one a fastball outside. Or actually, it caught the corner, I guess. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Move to first base, and back to the bag diving is Pierce. One and one the count. 1-1 swung on, fly ball, center field. Kennett's underneath it in medium depth center. He will make the catch for the first out here in the 6th inning. So Nimrod retired, and Austin Ashbacker will bat for Colin Nimrod now. Colin was 1 for 3 on the night. Austin was 0 for 2 with a walk in game number 1. So the Baby Bull will get a chance to swing it here in the 6th inning with a runner at first and 1 down. 5-1 Decorah leads it. The pitch taken low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. One 0. Pitch, a little low. It hops away from Scribner behind the plate, but not enough to warrant runner advancement. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Ashbacker. Qualley still batting in the on-deck circle. And now Magnuson will ask for a new baseball. Two balls, no strikes. A lead at first by Pierce. The 2-0 to Austin. Tries to wait back on a breaking ball and fouls it away. Right side, out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Two and 1 with 1 down. Magnuson comes set. Runner stays put. Pitch swung on and a ground ball towards third, foul. Coach O lets that one skip by him. Can't move down, reach down as much as he once did with that bad hip. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 down. Stretch. 2-2. Swung on, popped up right side of the infield. Schutte, the first baseman, calling. He will make the catch. And that's the second out of the inning. So Ashbacker pops out, and Jake Qualley will look to keep the inning alive. Qualley sacrificed a runner-up in the first inning, singled and scored in the third inning. It was Brighton Meyer's courtesy runner that actually scored. And flew out to center in the fourth inning. 5-1 Decorah as we play the bottom of the 6th. And a breaking ball taken on the inside edge for a strike, 0-1. Magnuson comes set. 0-1 offering. Just missed the outside edge. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of steps off the bag at first base is Pierce, and a move over there by Magnuson will send Pierce back diving. Stretch. And the 1-1. Swung on and a ground ball towards third. Fielded there by Howard. Picks up, throws to first base, and it's scooped out nicely at first base by Schutte. And the side is out here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, one error, one left. Closing time for Decorah next as we play through 6. It's 5-1 Decorah. Welcome back to Decorah, everybody. Darren Swenson with you here at Olenzak Field. As Decorah beginning their warm-up tosses, there was a problem with the mask of Kyle Kane. So he had to get Austin Ashbacker's mask to complete the tosses here. Jake Qualley, his second straight very good outing. He's given up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Hasn't walked anybody and has struck out 6. It's after a 9-inning performance on Friday night against Waverly Shellrock. 5-1 Decorah leads it as we go to the top of the 7th inning. John Snook, who's batted once in this game, striking out looking in the 4th inning, will face Qualley here. Vikes with 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 5th. East got their only run in the top of the 4th inning. And the first pitch, Snook, first ball swinging, pops one up right field. James Osley coming in, and 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th inning. 1 down, nobody on. And Alex Schutte will bat for East. Vikes looking for the doubleheader sweep and win number 20 on the season. Schutte with an infield hit in the 2nd. He reached on an error in the 4th. Qualley kicks and deals, and the pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Vikes will have Clayton Ridge, Elkader Central tomorrow night. 5:30 JV, 7:30 varsity as that one flown into left field. Angling towards left center is Cole Sweska. He will make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 down, nobody on, and Jake Kinnett's the last hope for the moment for Waterloo East. 5-1 Decorah leads it. They won game 1 of the doubleheader 10-0 in 5. Kinnett's popped to 2nd in the 2nd and popped to short in the 5th and swings and fouls the first pitch back. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Kyle Kane, so it's no balls, 2 strikes. Qualley ready, and the 0-2 offering. Swing and a miss, and that's a Viking victory. Decorah completes the doubleheader sweep of Waterloo East tonight. 5-1, 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 errors, and 6 left for Decorah. 1 run, 3 hits, 4 errors, 3 left for Waterloo East. Winning pitcher, Jake Qualley. 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, and 7 strikeouts for Qualley. And Qualley on the night threw 95 pitches. Losing pitcher John Magnuson for Waterloo East. So Decorah is now 20-7 on the year. Waterloo East drops to 2-24. Many people to thank for making our broadcast possible. First and foremost, our advertisers, good sports-minded people who helped us bring the game wherever you were tonight. Without their help, this coverage would not be possible. So as always, we encourage you to support the businesses who support local high school sports. And lastly, and most importantly, we thank you, that's right, you, the listener, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We know you enjoyed the outcome. Final score 10-0 in 5 and 5-1. So, we remind you that we'll have softball on the air tomorrow night, Decorah at New Hampton for a conference doubleheader beginning at 5:50. So, for our entire KDEC sports team, for tonight's moral support of Peter Lillibridge and Tom Hodek, my name is Darren Swenson saying so long from Olenzak Field. Vikes win 2, 10-0 in 5 and 5-1. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again from New Hampton tomorrow night. Jake. Congrats on the honor, man. Oh. Someone's got to give you some love.